Hey, Steve.
Hey, Khandie.
I think we should do it the other way, actually. Is it this way? No, it's this way. So we're going to talk while we're at Skeg Vegas,
Skeg Vegas.
about things that we wish we'd known as photographers at this point in our career before we got here. So I own my own studio. I'm a professional photographer full-time. Steve is a tutor and...
Street photographer, maybe? Urban?
Consider yourself professional or not?
Nah.
Okay.
No, not really. No, I don't get paid for anything.
Okay, except for this, if he's nice to me. Okay, so going in, Steve, what is the one thing you wish you'd learned now about, say, confidence in your work?
I'm still learning.
Yeah? Okay.
I still don't feel confident in my work. I
don't think you ever will.
No, I think...
Not you,
No,
personally.
I don't think... I mean, lack of self-belief is always going to be a problem for me.
Can you combat that anyhow?
Well, I feel happy when someone likes my work, like you like my bus stop one.
Yeah.
And that made me feel confident to a degree, but I don't think anybody in this sort of, whether they're a photographer or an artist, is ever going to be happy with their work.
I think there are a few, and I think those people have the Dunning-Kruger effect in full swing.
Definitely.
And a lot of that is because Facebook groups lull people into this false sense of like some superiority with their photography. And I think the worst thing I ever did was join some Facebook groups and see how people trash people's work entirely.
Yeah, and I think also you get the point where maybe people who don't do photography go, oh, that's a really good photograph, and you kind of think, oh, brilliant, but actually, in hindsight, it's not really a good photograph, it's just...
It looks good on the ground?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And
okay, we're back. We're back with the amazing soundtrack behind us. It's probably going to ruin all of this. So, Steve, tell me.
yes.
Okay, so, no. Okay, gear envy. I'm going to put this out here. I think Sony played an epic game when they sent out all of their cameras, I don't know how it happened, but everyone seemed to have a Sony camera almost instantly. Yeah. They have the Sony camera, and then everyone's like, I need a Sony camera. Whereas I feel like I'm in a gym bro group. I was like, do you even live, man? Do you even have a Sony? And it almost like made me hate the brand. I don't hate the brand, but it was pushing it away because everybody was talking about how amazing the color science was on a Sony.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
And it kind of, it's a bit like the Squarespace adverts, you know, like whenever you watch a YouTube channel, and I don't hate Squarespace, but there was a point where every single YouTube channel you're watching was talking about Squarespace. It made me like, I just don't want to ever work with Squarespace,
no.
Which is wrong, but that's how it started to feel. So I feel like the gear envy thing is completely community driven, but not helped by the fact that people do just kind of jump on any gear because it somehow gives them credibility.
Yeah, I quite agree. I mean, I think personally...
What are you doing?
I think personally, I haven't got any... I don't care about gear at all. I mean, I would never go for Fujifilm or Nikon at all. It just doesn't... I mean, if they're watching, I need a new lens.
And I did not buy these Rode mics, yeah. But I think there's like parts of the gear where everyone was like talking about that you needed a Sony, and even now people are like taken back if you don't shoot Sony. It might, from what I'm seeing. And then... What, you still shoot Nikon? Yeah, I shoot Nikon. It's mirrorless. It's great for what it does. And I just felt like everyone was trying to get me into Sony. And I was like, I almost doubled down on the fact that even if Sony would give it to me for free, by the way, you can, I probably wouldn't use it. I probably would. But it was just the fact that I was like, no, I became always anti-Sony, which is absolutely stupid and ridiculous. But I started to become anti-Sony. No?
Yeah.
Just me on my own.
No, I agree. I'm
okay.
not into Sony. I think I got to the point where Sony just always seemed too clinical at the end for me.
Oh, you like shit quality then?
I love shit quality. my photography style is shit quality.
One of the things I find that really stuck out was how many people profess to be professional photographers but act absolutely anything but. And I'm going to say this in some of the Facebook groups. You will go to them for advice and they will treat you like you're their mate. But when you F up, they treat you like you're their worst enemy. And there's this whole discord in like, you as a photographer need to be treated like an absolute professional by your client. But you don't have to treat your client like a professional photographer. So like, there were people going, oh my God, my client hasn't paid me yet. What do I do? Oh my God, send to the small claims. Do this, do that, do that. And then like, when a photographer was in the same group going, oh my God, I effed up on this gallery. It's taken me 2 weeks longer than it should. Oh, your client should be understanding, you know, family, things happen. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
That's not how this works. Like, and I don't know, maybe I'm in the wrong group, but it felt a bit like, it really started to get to me. Like, I was going to these so-called people for advice, and that was their advice. I'm like, I feel I need to. There seems to be some level of accountability in some of this.
There's a lot of snobbery in these groups. A lot of snobbery.
Yeah, selective colour. If anyone has selective colour, I instantly don't want to know your opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Or white vignette.
Oh, no.
Or a strong vignette. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, you get it a lot, though. I don't know, like a street photography group.
Yeah.
And there's, it can't be street photography. It hasn't got a person in it. It's taken on the street. Come on, get over it. Don't be so snobby about it. Yeah, just get over it.
I felt film photography was a lot like that, that people would judge film photography a lot harsher, because I feel like a lot of film photography I was seeing was just like street scenes. Oh, there's a pretty tree, snap a picture. Yeah. There's a doorway, snap a picture. I am this person, by the way.
Yeah, I do that.
And then, but it's on film. And then I was like, I actually want to see personality in it. So I started to venture out. And I actually realised it was my own blinkered vision of what film photography was. But yeah, there is a little bit of snobbery in it.
Film photographers who edit their photographs, so they get a scan. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to edit it completely in Lightroom.
Yeah,
Why?
I sit on the fence on this.
You just spent 15 quid in a roll of film just to edit it in Lightroom.
Yeah, I think it's because it becomes a digital render of the film picture. It's no longer a film photo; it's a digital render, isn't it?
And surely you use film because the imperfections of it.
But people can say, "Oh yeah, but it's still digital. It's still film." Sorry, and I'm like, well, if you wanted to edit it, you would go in the darkroom. If you can't, then like you have to say it's a digital copy of your original picture. I would imagine. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you're editing your film image to a degree that it's just tell people.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The thing I learned really quickly on is how many people completely BS their success, and that's great until you're trying to sell a product like a business marketing or a career marketing course or this is how I made 10 grand, how you can make 10 grand. You should never fall for those. But there are literally people who make their entire career claiming they can save you all this money, and it turns out they actually can't. They're only really good at like hoodwinking you into buying their course that gets them the money.
Yeah.
And the same goes for these courses that you go on to help you with your career, and they tell you to go on a 2 grand yoga retreat with them or a retreat, and I'm like, people don't have that.
No.
And then they almost berate you for not having it, and I'm like, huh? That's one. Or people who do marketing courses endorsed by senior authorities in the community, and their marketing course is only half of the information, and then when people go, it's not working for me, oh, that's because you need to sign up for the rest. I'm like, do you know what? Either give it all or give one bit in its entirety.
Gatekeeping's another thing.
I don't do gatekeeping. I don't like that. But I get you trying to upsell a course. Why don't you just tell them one thing about the entirety of it to say, look, this is what I'm going to teach you now. Don't say, this is the only marketing course you need for this week or this month, whatever it is. And it's like, so yeah, you just need to so you say things like, you just need to update your Instagram. And then they go to the next point. I'm like, with what? How am I doing that? How do I? And it's all these little things. And I'm like, nah, I'm done, boo. I'm done. I don't know, that's whinge. But yeah, the retreats bug me. Like, I'm struggling to make money. Oh, come on, this 2 grand retreat. Or every time you go on a course, and this is going to annoy so many people. So, and they ask you, so what was your why? What is the reason you take photos? To pay my bills, bitch. To pay my bills. I mean, I love it and it gives me a buzz, but ultimately I keep doing it to pay my bills.
Doesn't pay my bills.
You don't have any bills. You're a princess. You're a pampered princess. You're kept.
I am.
Am I being horrible in that, by the way?
No.
I might be. If I'm
horrible bitch.
Yeah, that'll come out of the YouTube now. I can't have that in there.
The other thing you should do is just go out and shoot. Just don't shoot random stuff.
Images.
Just get used to using your camera. And
I also like the fact people go, they're bored and they always shoot in the same place. What do you think is going to happen?
I do that a lot.
I know. And then what happened? We end up in Skeg Vegas.
Yeah, let's go to Skegness. I'm bored of Northampton.
Yeah.
So yeah, just get out and shoot. And if you get to a point where actually you've just had enough, you're just fed up with it all, just take a break. There's no harm in taking a break for a little while and coming back to it. I think it's good to have that
you're not boring.
break. I know, I'm a boring chap, you know. But yeah, just take a creative break. I mean, sometimes I get to the point where I really hate photography.
Do you?
Yeah, I just need a break from it.
I hate the bills. I wish I'd get a break from those. This is clicks. When people tell me, oh no, we're a community, I instantly don't believe you.
Oh,
Yeah, because
Sorry.
I do not believe that there are enough people sometimes. No, that's wrong. I do believe that. Sometimes there can be community, but even in tight communities, there are people slating each other, and I find it absolutely appalling. I've heard some great lies about me recently. I can't remember. I said, so why were you passing on the BS?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's just what I heard from who? I can't tell you. Then it's lies. It's the lie stops for you.
Yeah.
And then they eventually got really upset because I was like, so why did you say it? And they're like, I said, because it's really damaging. The amount of BS that comes out of some groups that profess community utterly shocks me. But it's got to the point where now it's completely unshocking and it's just the standard. The more you push that you're a community, I feel like the more likely you are to be anything but.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I agree.
Just so you know, there are many people who are successful on Instagram who have appalling businesses that aren't successful in the slightest. Sorry, I'm not pointing at you for that.
You did point at me at that. Pointed at me at that. You saw
There
that.
are so many people. Remember, you can buy Instagram followers, but there are also so many people. Like there was Esther Van Oreo said that he could post a picture of his dog and get 1 million likes. Post an absolutely banging portrait and get 30 likes. Yeah, it's getting loud now. We're gonna go. Bye. You meant to say bye.
Oh, sorry, bye. I was just thinking of something else.